The Pagani Huayra. The Pagani Huayra.
Pagani Huayra.
Pagani Huayra. Alright, once we know how to pronounce this correctly, let's dive into the story of the world of Pagani. So the company was founded by Horacio Pagani, who was an Argentinian-Italian designer and engineer. The company was created because Pagani wanted to make unique cars that blend advanced technology with art. If you ask me, it's like a jewelry box. I would be scared to even sit in that thing. I actually have a screw that says Pagani on it. How cool. I can build my own Pagani one day. All I need is everything else. Easy. So who is Mr. Pagani? As I mentioned, he is an Argentinian-Italian engineer who traveled to Italy in the late 70s as a young, talented sports car enthusiast who proved that he could build a race car. He visited Lamborghini and met the company's chief technical director in 1982. And after that, he decided to move to Italy because Lamborghini actually hired him. 10 years later, in 1992, Pagani founded his own company, Pagani Automobili, in Modena, Italy. The company became known for its innovative use of advanced materials, such as carbon fiber and aluminium in the construction of its cars. The Pagani Zonda was introduced in 1999, was the first notable model and quickly gained acclaim for its design, performance and attention to details. The Huayra, launched in 2011, further established Pagani's reputation for producing some of the most exclusive and performance-oriented cars. Okay, let's talk about the engine. The Huayra was powered by a Mercedes AMG M158 V12 twin turbocharged engine. Yes, that thing moves. With the 7-speed automated manual transmission, this car can speed up from 0 to 60 within 3.2 seconds and with the top speed exceeding 230 miles per hour. Also features the state-of-the-art suspension system that optimally balances performance and comfort. The exterior shows how aggressive this car is. As I mentioned before, they use carbon fiber everywhere, inside and out. The interior is a blend of luxury and performance, featuring high-quality leather and, of course, more carbon fiber. Even the brakes are carbon ceramic to ensure effective stopping power. Well, if you have 700 horsepower under the hood, you need some serious stuff that stops you going off the map. So this drawing took me ages, not just because of the details outside. The open door, which allows us to see some interior. As I mentioned, this car is full carbon fiber, almost in and out. So if you look closer, you can see the carbon fiber texture, and that really makes the drawing extremely difficult to do it right and time consuming. Not to mention the chances how many times it can go wrong. So if you just start drawing cars, I highly recommend not to draw this one. It can really turn into a nightmare. I can only just imagine how difficult to design a very high-end product like this, especially when you design a part that never existed before. To be honest with you, if I was a supercar designer, I would take all the best parts from other cars, the strongest and most reliable engine with 6-speed manual transmission, and build a full carbon fiber body around it and make it 1000 horsepower. Good idea. Even Pagani produces very limited number of Huayras, making it one of the most exclusive hypercars on the market. Each vehicle can be customized, catering to the taste of individual owners. The question is, would I buy one for myself if I was rich? Absolutely. There's one advice for you guys. Life is too short to drive boring cars, and money is to spend. Do you want to see another cool and expensive car? Click on this video. Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about my experience at the McLaren Technology Center, and I will also talk about the McLaren 600 LT. I never mentioned before, but in 2023 I was lucky enough to visit the McLaren Technology Center. Thanks to a friend who works there, she got us in and we spent a lovely afternoon there. Fortunately, this place is only half an hour away from us. I had to say yes. If I didn't say yes, I would be a total idiot, don't you think? Anyway, I didn't make a lot of footages, but I took a lot of pictures and I'm going to show you a few. This place is super futuristic. It even appears in one of those Star Wars spin-off series, which is pretty cool. I was able to see the factory itself where this car, for example, was built. And of course, all those Formula cars like the new F1 cars, Mika Häkkinen's car, or even the GOAT himself, Senna's red and white race car. I saw a replica years ago, but I think this was one of those that he actually drove in the race environment. They actually started a couple of cars up and they drove around the building, which was pretty cool. I was lucky enough to see one of those cars moving. I think it was the MP4/5, I don't know exactly. You let me know in the comments if you know. So I saw this car moving and the sound was absolutely amazing. Listen to this. The other shock to my system was you actually allowed to walk around these super rare cars and very historical pieces of the motorsport. I'm not sure if you're old enough to remember the first Need for Speed game that you could actually drive the McLaren F1 road car, which was the fastest production car at that time. So the car was in front of me and I could actually touch it if I wanted to. I was too scared though. I don't know much about that car, but probably must have the lowest mileage on the world. I opened Google quickly and just have a look how much they sell it for these days. Well, that time was about 16 million pounds, which is crazy money for one car. I was like, okay, do not touch that car. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, I tried to change a wheel on the proper F1 car. They said the real thing is much faster, so I'm sure they could just rip my arm off. It's actually hard work. I don't know how they can change the tires within 2 seconds or less. I don't know. I really don't. Anyway, let's talk about the 600 LT. So what does LT stand for? Oh, I can hear you shouting at me. It's long tail. This comes from McLaren's history. These cars are special as they are designed for better aerodynamics and performance. The 600 LT was based on the 570S, but it has many improvements. One of the main goals of the 600 LT is to be lightweight. As we all know, McLaren is famous for using strong and lightweight materials like, yes, carbon fiber. Inside the 600 LT is just as impressive. It has bucket seats that hold you in place during sharp turns. Just like an F1 car, on the steering wheel you are able to change settings without taking your hands off. Okay, let's talk about some interesting specs while you can enjoy the time-lapse video of my drawing. So the heart of the McLaren 600 LT is its engine. It has 3.8 liter V8 engine that produces around 592 horsepower. This engine is powerful and responsive. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds. That's incredibly fast. The top speed of the 600 LT is around 204 miles per hour. The car has 7-speed automatic transmission, which helps with smooth gear changes. The handling of the 600 LT is excellent thanks to its advanced suspension and lightweight construction. It feels connected to the road so drivers can take corners with confidence. As I mentioned before, the car's body panels are made from carbon fiber, which is strong but very light. This helps to reduce the overall weight of the car, improving performance. Another interesting feature is the exhaust system. The exhaust has a distinct sound that many drivers love. It's loud and aggressive, letting you know that this car means business. The exhaust system also helps the engine breathe better. which increases power and performance. Driving the 600LT is an unforgettable experience. Many drivers say it feels like being in a race car. The acceleration is thrilling, the sound of the engine makes every drive exciting. The steering is precise and the car responds quickly to the driver inputs. Whether you are on a winding road on a racetrack, the 600LT feels at home. Its lightweight design and powerful engine allow it to compete with other supercars. Many drivers use the 600LT for track days and racing events. It can keep up with much more expensive cars, proving that it offers great value for performance enthusiasts. Wow, now I kind of feel like this car would be my second supercar right next to the Lamborghini Huracan. All I need is £1 million. So why is this car so unique? Limited production, lightweight focus, racing heritage, advanced aerodynamics, and drive-centric design. Well, thank you very much for watching this video as always. If you want to learn more about this car, you know what to do. Get ready to learn about the legendary drift machine, the Toyota AE86 alias Hachiroku. This car drawing I brought you today belongs to a Japanese lady. Why is it important to mention that? First of all, it's pretty cool if a lady or woman spends time, money and energy on a project car like this. And she's super proud of it. She lives in Japan, obviously. So yeah, shout out to her sending me this picture so I could make this absolutely amazing drawing. I just realized the other day when I was looking at my stats that 30% of my viewers are actually female. So it's good to see you here. Thanks for your support. The Toyota AE86, also known as the Sprinter Trueno in Japan and Corolla GTS in North America. The lightweight rear-wheel drive car that was produced between 1983 and 1987. This car has gained a reputation for being a fun, lightweight sports car that attracts fans from all around the world. The Toyota AE86 is part of the 5th generation of the Toyota Corolla, marked by the code AE for its model designation. The 86 comes from its model number, which creates a strong connection to the legendary Toyota 2000 GT and the motorsports heritage of the brand. To be honest with you, I thought the reason why it's called 86 because it was made in 1986. You know, Google is your best friend when you do research. The AE86 was produced during a time when Toyota was focusing on both making reliable and fun to drive cars. Their cars are still reliable and also fun to drive. For example, the GI Yaris. Speaking of that, I'm gonna make a video about it soon, so stay tuned. What sets the AE86 apart from other Toyota lineup is the rear-wheel drive layout. Most of the Corollas of the time were only front-wheel drive, and obviously this car offers a different driving experience. So the AE86 comes in two main body styles, the hatchback Trueno and the coupe Levin, which was a bit weird looking, if I can be honest with you. If you have one and you love it, that's fine, that's just my opinion. Under the hood, this car has a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine that makes 128 horsepower. I know it's not a lot, back in the day it was alright, but if you think about it, this car is just a little bit over a ton, so that power is basically enough to toss it around at the corners. So the reason why the car can be drifted easily is because the well-balanced weight distribution and the nature of the high revving engine. The AE86 became a legend of the drifting culture, especially in Japan. Influential figures like Keiichi Tsuchiya, known as the Drift King, popularized the AE86 in the 1980s, showcasing its capabilities on the track. They initially introduced the Hachiroku to a wider audience. The anime showcased this car's driving capabilities and transformed this car into an icon, basically. Many fans wanted to have their own Takumi-style Hachiroku. To be honest with you, it's not my cup of tea. I'd rather have the Drift King's car. Actually, I want to build a replica of his car as an RC car. You probably don't know, but I'm into RC hobby and also RC drift cars. Yep, that was my car with the Skyline body on it. It's cool, isn't it? The support for the AE86 after its sale is strong. Many owners enjoyed adding their own touches to their cars to improve how they look and perform. They can change the engine, upgrade the suspension, and make cosmetic changes, and there are lots of options. This culture of customizing has helped the AE86 stay popular with car lovers. Over time, the Hachiroku became a popular classic car, especially for collectors and fans, because it's well known and not made in large numbers. Nice, well-kept versions of the AE86 just like this are now worth a lot of the classic car market. Nice, well-kept versions like this of the AE86 are now worth a lot on the classic car market. This Toyota is more than just a car, it's a symbol of driving passion and enthusiasm. Its lightweight design, rear-wheel drive layout, and agile handling make it a standout in the automotive world. From its significant role in motorsports to its portrayal in pop culture, this car has left an indelible mark of the hearts of the car enthusiasts everywhere. Whether it's the nostalgia of its classic design or the thrill of driving experience it offers, the AE86 continues to capture the imagination of new generations. Its legacy reminds us of an era where driving was about engagement, enjoyment, and the connection between the driver and the machine. The Hachiroku is not just a piece of automotive history, but a celebration of the joy of driving itself. Well guys, I hope you liked this video and learned a lot from it, just like I did. If you want to learn more about this also legendary drift car, you need to click on this link. I want to talk about 3 cars that might come back. Well, one car is definitely coming back. Do you want to find out which one? Let's get started. The first car I want to talk about is the Honda S2000. The S2000 was discontinued after the 2009 model year. Honda's primary reason was they have shifted their focus into newer models like the new SUV lineup and the hybrid technology. The sports car segment where the S2000 thrived was declining in popularity, so Honda concentrated its resources onto more profitable segments like SUVs. As a result, the S2000 production came to the end after a successful run with a strong fan base and a legacy in the sports car community. Well, it's kind of hard to believe that there was not enough buyers to keep this car on the market. Probably its rival, the Mazda MX-5, was a bit more popular or cheaper that time, even though that car wasn't as powerful as the Honda. Anyway, I have found a website, autoevolution.com, where they talk about a newer generation, but unfortunately it says the S2000 has become a delicate topic for Honda fans, as despite the constant rumors that the Japanese automaker wants to revive it, it seems that its model is not in the pipeline at all. The renderings are actually pretty good. I can definitely see some old S2000 DNA in it. Well, probably they are not brave enough to pull this off, but I'm sure there would be a bunch of people who would love to buy one of those. I think they want, or they need to develop some kind of hybrid drivetrain for that if they want to make a new one. I'm sure they could do something like the CRZ was. As we know, the CRZ had an electric motor that helped the petrol engine accelerate and help with the fuel efficiency. Unfortunately, they also stopped making that in 2016. Speaking of Honda, the second car I want to talk about is definitely coming back with the hybrid system, the 6th generation Honda Prelude. Well, you probably don't know, but I'm a die-hard Prelude fan. My first car was actually a 5th generation Prelude. Long story short, I bought a blue one because I could only find this in good condition, and I always knew that I'm gonna get it sprayed white. So I was happy, I had fun with it, and later I sold it, unfortunately, as I moved to a different country for good. My deepest dream is to buy a Ride and Drive Motegi version and keep it forever this time, whatever happens. All I need is 100,000 subscribers, so I will be able to afford a project car again. Speaking of subscribers, 90% of the people are not subscribed to my channel. Please make sure you click on the button. This means a lot to me. Thank you. So if you go on the Honda.co.uk, you will see this car is actually coming on market as far as we know in 2026. I really hope that they make a production model a bit sportier, or at least it comes with the body kit. To be honest with you, the previous model looked a bit funny without it. Anyway, I'm actually grateful for this and surprised at the same time. I thought this would never come, as we didn't see another Integra Typer either. Okay, they made another NSX, but that's a supercar, you know, not everyone can afford it. As a Honda fanboy, it really hurts me. If you look at Nissan and Toyota, they still make affordable fun cars. At last but not least, the star of this video is the new Toyota Celica. Well, this is also just a rendering or even AI generated image, but it looks so good. If you Google the Celica 2025, for example, you will find a bunch of photos. If this comes a reality, that would prove the people still want two-door sports coupes. While the new Supra was successful, so was the new GT86. Now all they have to do is four-wheel drive turbocharged GR Celica. That would be awesome. Of course, there's not much information about it. Some say it's 2026. I had this picture and the new Supra side by side, and they looked very similar to each other. The big question is, what chassis will they use to build this car on? The other factor is the price. If they can keep it between 35 to 40,000, I'm sure they will have a lot of pre-orders worldwide. So the last Celica was sold in 2006. I don't know why these automakers had to wait 20 years to bring these legends back. Well, I better not jinx it. All we know for sure is that the Prelude is coming. Despite the fact that I'm a Prelude fanboy, I'm actually more excited about the new Celica, especially GR version. I also hope that they are brave enough to make it 6-speed manual. That would be a dream car for Toyota enthusiasts. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video as well, and my drawing, of course. If you want to learn more about this also famous Toyota, all you need to do is just click on it. I've just been to Tenerife and I had a mission. I wanted to find a unique car on the island. Let's find out what it was. So this was my second time on the island, and I knew that 99% of the cars are relatively small. I mean, 1.4, 5-door little town cars, especially on the south coast, because all the tourists are there and most of the cars are rental cars. To be honest with you, I saw a few Mustangs here and there, but I really wanted to find a very special car, just like this red Camaro was. As far as I know, they don't sell it through dealership in Europe. They all import cars from the US. So unfortunately, I couldn't find it on the streets. So I was even walking around the streets when I was doing the live stream on YouTube. I really just wanted to find a car that it's special enough to do a drawing about it or something like that. But unfortunately, I couldn't find anything that day. If you didn't see my live stream, then I'll leave the link down below. You can watch it again if you want. One day we went to the town again, and I almost gave up on that idea to find something special. This car came under my radar. I only had the time to take a photo as we were going to the water park. This is a Fiat 500, but not just an average Fiat 500. It was an Abarth Fiat 500. If you don't know what the Abarth means or what it is, there's an article about it on Wikipedia. In a nutshell, there was a racing car enthusiast, Italo-Austrian guy called Carlo Abarth, who founded the company in 1949, and later in 1971 he sold the company to Fiat. So yeah, if you're interested, go and check this article out on Wikipedia. I find it very strange because this car was right in the middle of the town, right next to the water park, so you don't really see scrap cars on the side of the road on Tenerife, especially a factory-tuned one like this. I even told the receptionist of my hotel about this car, and I said I want to make a video about it, and he said it's a good idea. So shout out to Fernando, the best receptionist on Tenerife. So I decided to make a drawing of this car, but I wanted to have a drawing when this car was in its prime. I went to Google Earth and I just wanted to check out if the car was there before, and I was lucky actually because I found the car when it was in one piece. I don't know the story behind the car or the owner. I don't know, I just find it very strange. Why would you leave a car like that? So now we know how the car looked like, so I can find a twin sister on the internet for reference photo. I dedicate this drawing to its owner. I don't know what happened to him or her or the car, but if you see this video and that's your car, please DM me on Instagram. I wanna hear the story. Alright, let's talk Fiat 500 Abarth. The Abarth Turbo is a high-performance variant of the base model. It's known for distinctive styling and spirited driving dynamics. Introduced as part of the Abarth lineup, which is Fiat's performance division, as I mentioned before, the heart of the car is a 1.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine. This power plant typically produces around 160 horsepower, and if you ask me, it's not too bad because it's a small car. The turbocharged nature of the engine provides a lively driving experience with quick acceleration and responsive power delivery. Externally, the 500 Abarth includes a sportier front end, larger air intakes, a more aggressive rear bumper and dual exhaust tip. It often comes with special badging and wheel designs. The interior typically features sport seats, Abarth branding and upgraded materials. The car is praised for its engaging driving experience. Its compact size, combined with responsive steering and performance-oriented chassis, makes it enjoyable on winding roads and its urban environment alike. I've never driven one, but I sat in one because my wife's cousin has one, so I know exactly what it feels like to be in one of those. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and don't forget to check out other content on my channel. Subscribe, like. See you guys in the next one. Whoa. The future is here. Let me tell you about my first impression of the Tesla's new robotaxi. A few months ago I went to London with my friend to the same place where the Cybertruck was. This time they had the robotaxi there. I couldn't sit in or touch it or even go around with my camera, which was a bit disappointing, but I had to be grateful to see at least one. You might want to call me a Tesla fanboy. Well, there was a time when I really wanted one. Even our wedding car was a Model S that traveled 1200 miles to be there. Yeah, 8 years ago that was still a big sensation, especially the place I came from. Anyway, back to the robotaxi. So what's the most important feature of this car? Well, it's a fully autonomous car. It drives itself. But the weird thing is, it doesn't have a steering wheel, which would allow us to take control if we have to, but this time we can't do anything because the car doesn't have a steering wheel. My question would be, is it safe enough? Well, when they start using them, we will definitely find out. According to Tesla, they will start using them probably from June in Austin, Texas. I'm sure you all heard about AI by this time. Well, this kind of AI doesn't do your homework. it will actually drive you places. The advanced system uses complex algorithms and neural networks to process huge amount of data that comes from the car's cameras and sensors. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how these cars gonna behave between any other cars on the road. They just need to be charged sometimes and go back to drive pretty much 24/7. If you say you never buy one for yourself because you still want to drive, that's absolutely fine. But there are some people, especially in the big cities, they just fed up driving in the traffic jam, or they don't even have a driving license. They can just sit in their robocar, get to work while they can catch up with social media on their phone, and when they get out, the car will park itself or go home to charge or even make money for it's over by being a taxi for others. The car is only two-seater and can be charged wirelessly. They also have ideas for a robot cleaner that will clean the interior, so you can always sit in a tidy, clean car. Let me tell you, this half gold, half champagne color finish was really hard to draw. I really thought I would ruin it because I wasn't 100% sure how it's gonna look when I chose the markers. Well guys, luckily everything went well. I hope you liked that and this video. If you have any comments, you know what to do. Let me tell you about this 992 drawing that I made for my friend and my visit at the Porsche service center. I have a friend whose birthday was coming up, and he's probably the only one who doesn't have a drawing from me. So I asked him what would be his dream car if money wasn't a problem. I thought he would say something like, I don't know, Lamborghini Aventador, but no, he said a Porsche 992 Turbo S in blue. I said, okay, say no more. So I went to the nearest Porsche dealership and service to find a car he likes, but we actually ended up choosing a photo from internet, so that's what I use for my drawing as reference. Anyway, I went there with my son and I was shocked how cool that place looked. Never been there before. The staff was super friendly and they let me look around. Look, I have to admit that I'm not a hardcore Porsche fan and they look a bit same to me, especially the 911s. And it's so hard to tell what spec or generation. Please, someone comment that I'm not alone. So we were just looking around and I was amazed how these cars looked absolutely beautiful on display. Different colors, different specs, beautiful, beautiful. Everything was high quality. This brand is just stunning. This is the typical classic sports car that everyone recognizes on the world. Everybody knows that's a Porsche. There is one car that I recognize straight away, this modern Dakar version of the 911. I know these cars are mostly road cars, and that's why it's so special that you see a raised car like this with off-road wheels, and they're actually doing well in rally as well. I just realized I should really do a separate video about this 911 Dakar. What do you think? So I asked the staff if they can show me a 992 so I can do a little bit of footage around it, take some photos, or even, you know, sit inside. The guy looked at me and said, it's behind you. I was like, okay. It wasn't awkward, just a bit. Anyway, there was one, probably not Turbo S. I was too shy to ask. Please tell me if you know what it was. Unfortunately, I couldn't sit in because it belonged to a customer, but they let me walk around it and have a closer look. The interesting thing about the 992 is that they were built on the 911 chassis, but they have more advanced technology. The key differences between the 992 and its predecessor, the 911, include: exterior design-wise, the 992 features a wider body across all models, a full-width rear light bar, redesigned front and rear fascias with sharper lines and electrically pop-out door handles. Interior design-wise, the 992 has a more modern and digital focus interior with a large central touchscreen, partial digital instrument cluster, and fewer physical buttons. The 992 incorporates the latest technology, including advanced driver assistance systems, improved connectivity, and new features like wet mode for enhanced stability in wet conditions. My favorite feature of the car, it has microphones behind the wheels. They listen to water spray and detect wet road conditions and improve safety. My question would be, why microphones? Why not motion sensors just like windscreens have? I'm sure there's a reason. If you know, let us know down below. So my friend got this drawing and he loved it, and now he can start manifesting the real thing. Luckily, his wife let us hang it on the wall in the living room. So I hope he gets a real one day. I wish him all the best. I wish everyone all the best. This is who I am. And I also wish myself more subscribers. Bye. In this video, I'll talk about the second generation Toyota MR2. Let's find out why this car is so special. The Toyota MR2, especially the second generation called the SW20, was a really cool car that came out in 1989. It looked a lot different from the first one. Instead of sharp edges, it was smooth and curvy, just like a fancy sports car. That's why some people call it the Poolsman's Ferrari. But why, you might ask? Because it was red? No, because it was good looking, fun to drive, and the engine was in the middle, behind the seat. I have a friend who bought this car like this, and obviously he made it better. Well, with project cars, the truth is they are never finished, and you just keep dumping money into them, and you hope nothing goes wrong and you don't go broke. Anyway, the SW20 was low and wide with cool pop-up headlights that were very popular in the 90s. You could even get a T-top roof, which meant you could take out two panels above your head for an open air feeling, but it wasn't a full convertible obviously, but it looked good. So what was under the hood? This is where things got a bit different depending on where you bought the car. People in Japan got the best engines as always. The 3SGE, which we call the normal engine. Europe got the same normal 2-liter engine as Japan. It was just a bit less powerful. No turbo from factory. The big difference here was that Toyota didn't sell the turbo version of the MR2 directly in Europe. If you saw one there, it was either brought in Japan or someone put a turbo engine later. The inside was pretty much the same everywhere, focused on the driver. In America, they had their own set of choices. The 3S GTE turbo engine, this was the really powerful one. It was also a 2-liter, but it had a turbocharger, which is like a supercharger that makes the engine much stronger. As we know, it started with about 222 horsepower and eventually hit over 250 horsepower. This engine made the MR2 super fast. Europeans got good engines, but not the most powerful turbo. The regular MR2 in America got a slightly bigger 2.2-liter engine. It was good for everyday driving and saving gas. The 3S GTE turbo engine, good news for Americans, they did get a turbo engine, but it was a bit less powerful than a Japanese turbo, of course, starting at about 200 horsepower. The way the MR2 handled also changed over time and varied a little. They were known for something called snap oversteer, where the back of the car could suddenly slide out if you weren't careful. Toyota fixed it. Toyota listened to feedback and made changes to the car suspension from 1993 onwards. These changes made the car much safer and easier to control when driving hard. These fixes were generally for all the markets. The turbo versions in all countries usually got bigger, stronger brakes to help them stop faster. Over the years, the wheels got bigger, which also helped with handling and stopping. The second generation Toyota MR2 is still the favorite car for many people, especially for my buddy Fred. It looked like a super expensive sports car, but it was obviously much affordable. Having the engine in the middle behind the seat made it feel special and handled very well. Well, I'm not surprised this car was so special and reliable. If you think about it, these cars are 35 years old today. No wonder why I see them on the road almost daily. Well, I hope you learned something new today again. If you want to learn more about this interesting car right here, you need to click on it. Today's video is special because finally I can share with you my driving experience of the Nissan Skyline R34. Also, you will see me drawing the best replica of Brian's Skyline from Too Fast and Furious. Let's get started. I love surprises, but my 40th birthday I asked my wife to purchase one of these vouchers for a supercar driving experience, and she said, okay, what do you want to drive? And I said, I just want to drive a Nissan Skyline. And she said, okay, that's cheap. It's not a super or hyper car. By the way, I must confess, I nearly waited 2 years to redeem this voucher. I was just too busy with life and I forgot about it, but it's better later than never, am I right? So when we arrived, I was shocked how many cars were there to try. Oh yeah, also saw my man Chewbacca and the Stormtrooper. I had to have a photo with them. Chewie was shocked how tall I was. So the car park was full of Ferraris, Porsches and Lamborghinis as usual. But surprisingly, I've seen a lot of other movie cars like the Supra, Dom's Charger, which was awesome by the way. That's on my list. Dukes of Hazzard car also on my list. Starsky and Hutch GT500 from the Gone in 60 Seconds, and that old Batmobile from 1966. And of course all those different American cars and other legendary vehicles. I wish I had a lot of money so I could try every single car on there. Who knows, maybe one day. So they called my name, I sat down, and it was a 30-minute delay, which is understandable. There's hundreds of people out there waiting, but the weather was nice, so I didn't really care, to be honest with you. So we walked to the car, we sat in, and he explained what's going to happen. Well, the car was pretty used. If you think about it, approximately 30 people sit in that car and drive it. So yeah, it gets a bit dirty and used. Well, that car is a proper workhorse. So the weird thing I had to get used to it was this short gear shifter, which went like... I'd never driven anything like this before, so I had to get used to it before we took it to the track. The first thing I had in mind is don't break it, it must be expensive. The track was full of expensive cars, so the last thing I wanted to do is run into them. So I had to test the brakes and everything basically to be able to drive it safely. I purchased the extra insurance just in case. So we went out and started my lap. Unfortunately, you can't get it up to the red line, but you can drive relatively fast. It's so hard to feel 100 miles per hour when you drive on a super wide airplane runway and others drive fast too. As you can see on the video, I focused on that McLaren in front of me. I think the car had better brakes than me. So yeah, I thought I better just play safe. The car was amazing, absolute beast, very good handling, the sound of the engine and the turbo whistling, absolute goosebumps. I felt like back in the day when played Gran Turismo 24/7, not to mention Need for Speed Underground 2, oh good old days. My only problem was that I had no idea where to go. There were some cones all over the place. This guy next to me told me where to go, but it wasn't always easy to understand as the car was getting louder and louder sometimes. So we had a microphone inside. I'm not sure if you can hear the engine, but take a listen. Anyway, I was so happy and full of adrenaline when I parked the car back. Unfortunately, I forgot to take the selfie with the car. well, at least I have pretty cool footages. This day will never be forgotten, that's for sure. Next time I would probably try at least 2 or 3 different cars, you know, because this driving basically it was like a 5-10 minute thing. So yeah, next time definitely try something else as well. So this Skyline was supposed to be a replica of the movie car, but it was miles away from that. So that's why I reached out to Rob, who was kind enough to send me some really nice photos of his car. Shout out to him and his son, who is his photographer, to let me have one of this photo to use it as a reference. Check out his Instagram, it's absolutely amazing. I'll leave the link down below. So the car I've been driving was a GTR, but if I wanna be 100% honest here, Rob's car is a GTT. I want to make a separate video about GTRs in the near future. So I decided to talk about the GTTs because these cars are also amazing. So the Nissan Skyline GTT Gran Turismo Turbo is a highly regraded sports car, particularly the R34 generation, known for its blend of performance, style and tunability. It's often considered the baby brother to the legendary GTR. Here are a few things about the Skyline GTT engine and performance. RB25 DET engine. The R34 GTT is powered by the RB25 DET, a 2.5-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. As standard, it produces around 280 horsepower. Rob's car is a bit faster than that, so he claims he's got about 380-400 horsepower, which is pretty good. The R34 GTT shares much of the distinctive and aggressive interior design of the R34 GTR, including the quad round taillights. While both are part of the iconic Nissan Skyline lineage, the GTR models came with the more powerful twin-turbo RB26 DETT engine and an advanced Atessa E TS all-wheel drive system. The GTT, while still a high-performance machine, offered a more accessible entry point to the R34 platform with its rear-wheel drive and single turbo setup. Well guys, I hope you loved this video because I did love making it, and I highly recommend for you guys to try one of your dream cars because it's a really good feeling that you actually sit in the car you love so much and you can actually drive it, and it's not that expensive. You don't need to, you know, rob the bank for that. Well guys, thank you very much for watching again, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to learn more about this car right here, you know what to do. Today we got something truly special, the car that needs no introduction to anyone who loves a good old 90s Japanese icon. Forget the modern machines with screens everywhere. We talk about proper driver's car, and not just any driver's car, but a piece of Japanese automotive legend, the Honda Integra Type R DC2. But this is not just any DC2, this is the real deal, the proper Japanese domestic market version. You can tell right away by those unmistakable long, sleek headlights, a signature look that sets it apart from the round-eye version you might have seen around, and the indicator is on the right side, so yeah, this car was imported from Japan. Now let's talk about what makes this car so legendary. Under the bonnet of the factory Japanese DC2, you'd find a masterpiece of engineering. It's a 1.8-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with Honda's famous VTEC system, and its factory Japanese spec. This little powerhouse pushes out a healthy 197 brake horsepower at a screaming 8,000 RPM. Think about it for a second, it's nearly 200 horsepower for a 1.8 engine without any turbos or superchargers. That's a serious amount of power per liter, and it's all thanks to the clever engine design. Well, I have to tell you, this one is slightly modified, plus Honda got rid of any unnecessary extra weight. We're talking about thinner glass, even a thinner spare wheel cover. The result? A factor weight around 1.1 tons. This obsessive attention to detail made the DC2 incredibly nimble and responsive. Now, this particular car has a few tweaks, nothing crazy, but you know, just enough to be a bit more aggressive on the track. First off, the engine has been given a little bit more ground. We're not talking about a total rebuild here, but rather some careful tuning and maybe a few choice aftermarket parts that enhance what Honda already built. This means even more power climbing up through that rev range, making that VTEC kick in even more dramatic. When that VTEC engages around 5,800 RPM, it's like a switch flips, the engine note changes, the power surges, and it's an addictive experience truly. You really feel connected to the car. Yeah, you need to be precise with the clutch and the throttle. This car really needs your attention. This car with its modifications takes that already impressive handling and sharpens it even further. It's running a slightly more aggressive suspension setup, giving it even more grip and precision through the corners. This car isn't for cruising. It needs to be driven hard. It's raw and loud. Take a listen. When you hear that engine screaming its way to 8,000 RPM, the VTEC kicking in, and the sensation of being utterly connected to the road, you understand why people fall in love with these machines. It's an experience, not just a way to get from A to B. And that's the beauty of this important Japanese TC2 Type R in the UK. It's a rare sight, a true enthusiast car. It's a testament to Honda's engineering brilliance. A car built with singular focus on performance and driver enjoyment. The owner isn't afraid to take it to its natural habitat, a racetrack where it can truly shine and show off its incredible capabilities. But they also enjoy taking it for a spirited drive on the open road. It's a dual-purpose machine, a road legal race car, and a fantastic example of a true automotive icon. What a car, what an experience. Well guys, I hope you loved this video because I loved making this drawing to Josh. And I just wanted to say, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you do. Like the video, and if you want to find out more about this iconic car, click on this link.